Embrace the Journey podcast 643 here in the house with Big D, as they call him around here. DR, Rito, big right-hander, nasty breaking ball. I think he's a spin rate guy. Could be the Dr. Spin Rate. A lot of nicknames for this guy. Big brain on him. We got Dylan Reid, class of 2022, current Brown University baseball player, 643 alum, North Springs High School. Man, he's a lot smarter than I am, that's for sure. So looking forward to learning on this podcast. But Dylan Reid in the house. Dylan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Let's go, man. In the building. Coming back off an arm injury. I think you threw a little touch and feel yesterday with Levi Clark. How did that feel, man? Talk to the people about that. How's your arm doing?
It was great. Yeah, just, filling it up, all four pitches. Like, Levi, first time throwing to him, but, I mean, he's a rock star back there. And, really, it's really fun to just spin it sometimes, like you said, like, grip it and rip it. And it's fun to be back on the mound, like, feel good and just have everything going. So those good days, like, can't complain.
Absolutely. And I know so much of like the arm stuff coming back. We've been talking to a couple guys, even a couple of catchers we have like in the minor leagues right now are coming off arm stuff, and just there's so much trust that has to be built, right? Like I know the physical side tends to come back, but it's that mental piece that can hold you back. But you're such a good competitor. Have you had any troubles with that though so far, like trusting your arm coming back? Or talk to people about that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's more of like you're a little more aware of how your arm feels. Like you might feel something and you could have felt it a year ago, but now you're really focused, like, am I supposed to feel this? Like, where do I feel this? Why do I feel this? And it's more just like trusting, like your arm's healthy, like you're doing all the rehab. It's healthy. It just might not feel great. But again, that's why you're throwing, to like get it built back up, get it stronger. So even though you have to know the difference between pain and soreness, like there's going to be discomfort. There'll be bumps in the road, but it's all about just pushing through and, trusting it at the end of the day.
I love it. And is it really like those little things and that consistency that's helping you on the track? Like how much are you doing every day, rehab-wise, recovery-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do probably an hour every day on average, just whether it's bands or recovery or getting in a hot tub, like stim machine, whatever it is. Even like light toss, like I count that as recovery because it's just getting the arm moving, like blood flowing. And it really comes down to like, what do you think works for you? And just getting the routines that make you feel good and feel recovered for those days that you need to be at your best.
Makes sense. No, and are you tracking a lot of stuff? Is there like, doctors or PTs you're working with, or is a lot of this on your own? How's that with the D1 world?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different, when I'm at school versus here. Like at school, it's a lot harder to work with a PT that's back at home. But we have great trainers up there. And I mean, I still talk, like I talk on the phone with the PT here. Shout out Alex Beebe. But,
Shout out BB.
He's always ready to talk, and, like, he'll call me whenever, and, I say, like, I'm feeling this here, and he'll be like, I just wrote up this thing, and send me it, whether it's, like, a scap thing or an elbow thing or, like, I don't know, like a wrist thing, like, whatever it is, like, he's very specific, and he cares a lot about his guys, so it's good to have somebody like that, like, in your circle, and just know, like, you can rely on somebody if you need just, like, a second set of eyes or whatever it is.
Absolutely. Surround yourself with great people and
Exactly.
Everything will kind of work out, right? So I know, man, just talking with you, so you haven't pitched in a live game since 2023. Is that correct?
Yeah, summer 2023.
So that was following your sophomore season or following your freshman season of pitching at Brown?
Following my freshman season, I was playing summer ball for Amsterdam in the PGCBL, Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. So
is that up in New York? Is that the New York one?
Yeah. So Amsterdam, New York, the Mohawks. It was a great experience, but just got cut short. And
were you repping a mohawk during that season?
No, I think I had the same haircut as I do now.
What do we got right now? What is this? Is this a mullet or is this just flow? Lettuce?
Yeah, just a little flow. Nothing crazy. Like it's not in season yet. But I mean, might grow it out if I start playing well.
Yeah, that swagger, right? You got to keep it going. Got to keep it going. So talk about so you a guy that got to pitch as a freshman too, right? Like got a good bulk load as a freshman, got experience at Brown. How do you stay up? How do you stay good in life when, you've gone almost 2 years without getting in game? And I know you've still been working, every day you're doing something with your baseball journey. You're talking to people, but how do you stay up through all that when it's, something you love's missing a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say it was easy. Like there's definitely not just a constant up. Like it's a lot of up and down and more down and then up. But I think it comes down to who you surround yourself with and like having good teammates, having good coaches, family, friends, like whatever it is, just people to talk to and like even train with. Like if you're doing arm care, you're going to the training room, like doing it with somebody else and, you know, just like sharing things, like connecting outside of baseball. Cause like at the end of the day, we're all baseball players, but you can't let that one thing define you. Cause like if you get hurt or you play bad, like if that's your whole world, then it just like it could crumble down. So it's good to have a balance, like having, I mean, for me, I enjoy school sometimes, like not to be weird, but
it's not weird at all. That sounds very normal.
yeah, you know, like if you have a good professor, like just going to do something like you understand you can excel at outside of baseball, like just take your mind off things. Or I mean, video games, like anything that you like to do, like just having hobbies, you know, going with friends, fishing, like anything that you want to do that you enjoy. Because at the end of the day, like baseball's only one part of you, like I said. So, you know, just becoming more well-rounded, which initially I wouldn't say I was great at being well-rounded. Like I was very tunnel vision on baseball, but honestly, being hurt has led me to just grow as a person and, you know, explore new things.
I think it's great to be well-rounded, right? Like it's your life, you know, life is, there's so many beautiful parts of life that you get to experience. And I do think they all tie in as well. Like I think some people get so obsessed and, you know, single-minded with their sport, or maybe it's their school, or they're becoming like whatever. Sometimes we're so single-minded, we lose perspective that could help us in that thing. So I'm very interested to see when you come back, how maybe branching out, getting to go fishing, play more video games, hang out with friends, I'm sure hiking, random stuff like that with family. Like I'm sure all of that's going to make the competing part that much better, because you've been missing it and you won't know it probably till you're back in it. But also for you as a person in the long run, like you're getting so much experience in life right now. Is there anything at Brown that's specifically started there that you didn't have before, like any hobbies or groups of friends or things that you picked up at Brown that you never thought you'd be into, or, you know, that's taking up your time now?
Honestly, I'd just say like how close I've grown with the team. Like, cause you think you start a new team, like whether it's travel ball, high school, like you don't know the guys at all. And I mean, especially with baseball, like within a week, you're best friends with them. And it's just like having that from the start and feeling welcome. And I mean, every program's different, but like, especially at Brown, like it's been great. Like I've never not felt welcome or like fit in. And it's good to have those type of guys around, especially when things go bad. Cause like you're all on the same side and like everybody, they're pushing you in good ways. Like it's good to be around that stuff and just have good energy.
That accountability and the brotherhood all kind of makes it
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
that's the secret sauce right there. I love it. All the best teams we have here that I've got the chance to play with here, or coach here, or play with at Pope High School, stuff like that. It was always that brotherhood, but also like people willing to shoot you straight and tell you when you got a booger hanging out of your nose, right? Like, hey, you might want to clean this up, or hey, you look a little lazy today doing that recovery piece, or whatever it might be. Not that you would do that, but so let's tie that in with Brown. Why did you pick Brown? Ivy League school. One of the top academics in the country. Obviously, we have a bunch of really good academic players at 643, and I think there's sometimes that fear of balancing, you know, when kids are in that recruiting process of, you know, can I handle the academic load of an Ivy League school while playing the sport I love and, you know, chasing at the highest level? Is there a specific reason why you chose Brown? Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, I was a late recruit out of high school. Like I didn't throw too hard going into my senior year, but over the winter, I kind of got a little velo jump. Like more schools were talking to me, and Brown became one of them. And they're like, look, like we have our recruiting class filled out, but if you want to apply, like we might be able to help you get in, but it's kind of, if you get in, you're on the team. So, I mean, I applied and I heard back, I think at the end of March, and I got in, and I was like I've liked my conversations with the coaches. They ended up coming to see me a couple times in the summer, like the, what was it, Memorial Day weekend. Like they came in and they liked what they saw. They were like, yeah, like if you come here, you could play. So, you know, I went up for a visit and really liked it. And I liked the academic side of things. You know, my mom is always telling me like academics are first, and I never really bought in, but the more I get older, like academics really do matter that much. Like, cause for the rest of your life, like, I mean, if you're a Hall of Famer, you play baseball till you're 40, but after that, like, what else do you have? Like, having a degree, having the best academic background you can get, like, that was kind of the deciding factor. Because also, like, I want to go somewhere I can play. And then, I mean, having that Ivy League opportunity, like, you can't really pass it up.
No, makes sense. So, essentially, they told you, we see it, we don't have maybe a scholarship right now or that spot, but if you get in and want to bet on yourself, we're willing to give you that chance, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool, because then how many innings did you pitch as a freshman?
I threw about 40 or so.
Think about that, right? Like,
Yeah.
people watching, like, sometimes you just need that opportunity, right? Like, it's you know, we all want, of course, like a scholarship, or nowadays there's NIL. Like, there's so many things evolving, and I think everyone's looking for that extra love and attention, but it's really tight and slim pickings. And I think in the college world, of the roster spots, the portal, right? So I think really cool example here with you of just like, you know what, this is a school that's a great academic school. It can set me up for life, as you're saying, you know, after baseball. So, hey, I'm going to bet on myself, work my, where's my bleep button here? Work my off and see what happens after that. So that's really cool, man. That's really cool to hear. I know Will Forty we have. I don't know if you recognize that name. He's a senior going to Yale next year. He told me recently when talking that his whole goal was to help baseball get him into a school that he wouldn't be able to get in academically. Now with you, what was your GPA in high school? You might have been able to get in either way, which you kind of did, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was a 4 point something.
It was like a 4.6, I feel like, or something I never even heard of.
I mean, I wasn't keeping track of
What
that,
classes
but
were you taking in high school for guys listening? Like, what were some classes that helped you get, you know, was it a bunch of APs? Was it a bunch of clubs and hobbies? Like, how did you get that, you think, in the Ivy Leagues?
Yeah, I think a lot of the APs and, you know, just being a good student. Like, I think letters of recommendation are very important. And, you know, being close with teachers, like having them know that you care, just putting yourself out there, like
Relationships.
Relationships with them. Because, I mean, some things, like the little things, matter way more than you think. And you never know when it could come back to help you or come back to bite you. So
It's not always what you know, although you know a lot. Obviously, your school, it's who you know, right? Like people that are willing to, you know, vouch for you because you've put in that work, though, for them. So with that, how have you balanced? You know, I guess, you know, maybe being injured could have helped a little bit with the school balance. We're not having to have as much baseball, but I feel like talking to you, you're still there every single day, right? So, you know, what's your advice maybe for a Will Forty or a Jackson Allen, who we also just had commit to Yale Junior, you know, a Carter Barth, who's a little younger than you. Shout out Carter, who's at Brown as well, pitching. Like, how do those guys handle the baseball with the workload of the academics there? What's your, like, main thing or two, would you say?
yeah, I mean, on the outside looking at it, it seems pretty daunting, but it comes down to how much do you want to get out of it? Because you can cruise through and, you know, barely pass classes, you know, do like team lift and practice and then get out of there. But if you care about something, like, you'll put in the extra hours and study more if you want to do better in a class, or, you know, go to the training room more, or like go see the strength coach more. Like, anything that you want to get better at, you care about more, like you're striving to be the best at, like, you'll find the time to do it. And it's not as time consuming as you would expect. Like, it's very structured, and the coaches know your academic obligations. Like, even the conference has specific rules that are, like, not just Division I, but the conference itself. Like, you can only have so many hours in season, out of season, like playoffs, just because they know, like, the academic stress is, like, I mean, it is a little harder than most schools, but if you get there, you can do it. Like, I think anybody could do it.
Your consistency, it sounds like, on the field is the same in the classroom. Like, you just take pride in the little things, getting your work done, staying ahead of it, and that's really
just know what you need to do.
Yeah, because you're set to graduate. Is that right, this year? Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you, yeah.
And what's unique with this, we'll get into it later, you're set to graduate, but because of your injuries, you have 2 more seasons. Is that right?
That's
After
right.
this? Yeah. So it could be stay at Brown and play and do like a master's there, I'm guessing, or it could be explore and see what's out there. And you don't need to answer that and go into that, but is that how that works after this year, or are you burnt out of Ivy League years? Is there a rule with that?
Yeah, just for the Ivy League, you can't be a graduate student and play.
Okay.
So there is a way you can manipulate, like, your degree and kind of delay it and sit out a semester, but at this point it's too late. Like, that's something you would have to do, schedule out like your sophomore, junior year.
All right.
So that's just.
So you're going to finish strong this year, and any other college schools watching out there, if you need a big arm next year, this guy is probably going to be a caged animal coming off the injury, ready to roll, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into that later. I'm sure there's going to be some video and stuff coming out, and DP will be there to help. What is one academic skill that transfers to your baseball? Maybe you've always had it or you've picked it up there. Is there one skill that is vital to academics that you know is like, okay, this helps me at baseball all the time?
I think specifically related to, like, statistics, just knowing, like, when I'm pitching, I rely on my best stuff versus the analytics sometimes, like almost knowing that the analytics are like too good to be true. Like you can't always rely on the data because like on average it might be true, but you got to go with your gut sometimes. So honestly, like not relying on the academics, like just being a player out there, because it's easy to be like a lot of kids on my team. My coaches joke like we're very database and
they
like
outthink the room. That's what Coach Mang says.
Think too much.
Do,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's I always tell like DP is the trademark of like old school instinct, gut feeling coach. And then we have certain coaches here that are super analytical, statistical, how they write a lineup, statistical, how they pitch guys. And I think there's somewhere in the middle of both, right? Like you need both sides of it to be your best. And if you get too old school or too new school, you're probably going to be leaving out some of that perspective. So I think that's cool though to hear. Like you have the brain, but like you got to shut it off sometimes and just go out there and compete.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I think that's what makes players good is like having the ability to think, but sometimes just not doing it.
Yeah, you got to have an edge.
Yeah.
Right? I know I've seen you come off a mound fist pumping in that PBR national championship when you guys felt like you were playing 13, 14 innings at 17 that one year, and it was every inning there was energy coming off, and hey, one more, give me one more, even though the brain might have been saying, dude, you've thrown too many pitches, you need to call it right now, right? I mean, there's stuff like that you look back at. So talk a little bit as we close out the Brown piece, just the team. I know we were talking a little bit, team success-wise, wins and losses hasn't been quite as anyone would hope. I mean, everyone at every school wants to be, conference champs, wants to be playing in a regional, and obviously everyone's really good. So some years it's just going to swing one way or the other. You guys haven't quite had it the last couple seasons. I know you're going to be back in there this year. That's going to be a huge piece of it. But talk about the new coaching staff, and it's not a diss to the old ones, but talk more just about focus on this new staff. Talk about what are you feeling going into this year with them and how they're setting the tone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they came in, like they pushed us from the start. I mean, I think first day of practice we had a 6 a.m. lift. So it's like things are changing and like either get on board or get left behind. And everybody on our team is like bought in, and there's no disagreement anywhere. Like there's a lot of, challenges and tension, but we're pushing through it together. And it's good to see. I think our team's the closest it's ever been. We spend so much time together now because we're in there in the morning, then practice in the afternoon. So it's like we're in and out of the locker room, like seeing everybody multiple times a day. And we just like each other and we like playing. And I feel like that's the biggest thing is just liking being at the field, because if you don't like being at the field, it's hard to get better. Mm-hmm. But even if you aren't the best guy, but you like being out there, like getting better, like that's what makes you better. That's what makes good teams great. And I think this staff has kind of brought out the best in everybody. Just like it hasn't been easy. I'll say that. And I mean, it gets cold at the end of the fall. Like you're down at practice, you might be standing around as a pitcher, like we're doing bunt defenses or whatever, and we've gotten in trouble a little bit, just like losing a little focus. But like they're right, because one pitch off is the difference between winning and losing a game. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a pitch or a bunt defense play or first and third, like every single play matters, and that's what we rep, and hopefully it just comes to fruition in the spring.
Sounds like the details, the brotherhood, that's really what they're preaching. And no doubt, like when I coach, I try to encourage conditioning a lot, not to make kids hate me or not to make them like beat down, but there's something about like having to suffer a little together. Like I hear you say, challenging workouts, early mornings, a lot of time together. Even if that turns into you guys being like, for a second, these coaches are crazy. What are we doing? All of that is that bonding piece, right? Like we're doing this together. And then when you're competing come game time, you trust all the guys around you because you know that everyone's in there kind of suffering together, battling together, right?
Yeah. Because like all that hard stuff, it's like in the moment you're right. You're like, what are we doing? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But then looking back on it, whether it's a month later or a year later, you're like we needed that, because that's what makes you
when
good.
You pull off a bunt defense play probably to win a conference title, all of a sudden it's like, dude, that was worth them making us do it 18 times in a row when we kept throwing the ball away or whatever it was. Like those little things always show up. So is that talk about expectations for the team? Is it conference title? Like what is stuff you guys are talking about all the time when you're meeting after your workouts?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like conference title, that's kind of what you want, because you win the conference, you get into a regional. So, I mean, that's the goal. And obviously, like, we need to get in the tournament first, the conference tournament, like win one game at a time. But if you want a goal, like it's win the conference. And I mean, that's always the goal, I feel like. And we haven't done it yet, but like it's a good outlook to have, because I mean, top 4 teams get into the tournament, and then, it's just a regional format.
Right.
So right now it's just get in and then win it.
Just get a
Like
shot.
you don't have
right?
to be the 1 seed. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Obviously, you 1 seed host. Like,
Sure.
but just get in and then win it,
Love that.
and we'll take it one game at a time.
Attainable goals right there, though. I like it. Stuff for you guys to fall throughout the year, and every series matters like that. Every game in a series matters, right? Even if you can take 1 of 3 from somebody on the road or whatever it is. Do you have any buddies you played with here? I'm trying to think back to your team, because I know you had that birthday where you were able to play with some guys your class and some guys the class under you since you were young. Is there any guys that you've gotten to see play in regionals that you were playing with here or on TV that you were following? I'm trying to think back. Who you got? Any shout outs of those guys? Yeah.
I think I remember most notably DJ.
Yeah.
Just because his freshman year at Wofford, like I remember watching him at
Shout
the
out
UNC.
Daniel Jackson on the pod, episode 5, I believe. Was he 5, Freddy? Oh, Freddy's tired. He had a long night. Yeah, go ahead. So Daniel Jackson, right? Yeah.
But yeah, they're at the UNC regional, and like he's showing up, like playing LSU, like getting knocks, hitting the ball hard. And I was like he's on a big stage, like he's performing. It's like that's what you see. Like it's hard to show that you're in high school, like you see that, but it's good to see like people who are working hard, like get that stage and then do what they can do.
That's firing you up a little bit from across the country, right? Like you're seeing that going, all right, like I played with this guy, I pitched this guy. Like we almost won a national championship together. We were in that, like, I can do this. I can play at this level, right? Love it. Okay, what about your role coming off the arm injury? What are you expecting for yourself? I know you're saying it feels great. Mentioned hopefully getting back early in the season. Have the coaches talked to you much? Or are they really waiting to see where you're at? Or, what are your expectations for your role this season with the team?
Yeah, it's definitely a mix of waiting to see where I'm at, but at the same time telling me like, look, you have this potential, it's just a matter of what are you doing in preseason? Like wherever you're at, you could fit in. If you can bring it up to, 50, 60, 70 pitches, you could start. So it's more of where am I at in the, come February 20th or whenever our first game is. But
what's your goal?
I want to start.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel as a pitcher. I mean, I can do whatever, but I've always been a starter, and I feel like that's like my forte. So
what's your best pitch right now coming off? Like what yesterday were you throwing to Levi and you guys are like, oh, like that's okay.
Yeah, it's got to be the curveball.
Curveball still
is, yeah.
Crazy spin rate guy. I remember like your team was one of the first teams where Lake Point was putting the numbers up there.
Yeah.
And everyone was coming back talking about, dude, Dylan Reid was spinning the out of the baseball, like just invisible breaking ball, like nobody's touching it. Yeah.
That's fun. Just just throwing it. Like I said, grip it and rip it. It's kind of a joke we have because like sometimes
that's a TJ quote. I feel like too. Is that something you guys talked about? No.
I can't say for sure.
Maybe he got that from you. I heard him say that a lot. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think I've heard him say it too. But yeah, I mean, just going back to like thinking too much. Just sometimes you just gotta grip it and rip it. Like throw it hard, throw it through the zone, and it'll do what it needs to.
It'll do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Right. That's nasty. I can't wait to watch you pitch this year, man. It was really fun getting to follow you that freshman year, and I know you and Danny talked a bunch. We'll kind of hit on that on the backside just throughout your journey. Keeping up and. I know he loves you and sees you as just an extension of him and the 643 family always. So cannot wait to watch you back out there. It's making your journey that much sweeter that you're having to wait. And I know that stinks, and we'll talk about the adversity side. But let's talk about your family a little bit, because I know older brother Tyler, I think he was a grade above me, and I actually was able to play and practice with him a little bit when he played here back in the day. Went to Clemson, if I remember. Fraternity president. Am I on right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quarterback, too, in high school?
Yeah.
Tyler's the man, yep. And then you had Justin, older brother as well, that played, who I asked you if he was a catcher. What'd you say? Do you want to?
It's too soft.
Too soft, Justin. That's a shot, dude. You might be getting a headlock later from that one. But I'm very fascinated by the younger brother theory that we have in sports about a lot of times the younger brother is watching the older brothers, or the younger brothers getting picked on even maybe by the older brothers, and it's making them tougher, stronger, smarter. And I just see a lot of them, whether I played with them, my little brother even, I'm the oldest of 2, kids I'm now coaching, like, we tend to get excited for the youngest, and the youngest tends to be a freaking dog. So, I mean, talk about your brothers, the relationship there. How much of an impact did they have on you? Is that real, what I'm getting at there? I mean, what do you think in your life?
Yeah, it's 100% real. Because, I mean, as I've been at the baseball field before I could even remember it. Like, I got pictures of it when I'm 1 or 2, or even a baby, because they're at games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, each brother gets more and more exposure, because, when I'm the youngest, there's 2 brothers, so I have to go to 2 different sets of games. And I mean, my middle brother Justin, like he had 1 set of games to go to. So it's like I feel like each brother progressively sees more and just gets to know more, because like they're 7 years older and 5 years older. So it's like I get to middle school and one of them's in high school, one's in college, and it's like this is what like you should be doing. So it's like having that edge where it's like they're telling you like this is what worked, like don't waste your time doing this, or just I mean, having somebody to push you, like they're both better than me.
Brothers and mentors, it sounds like.
Yeah, like they played at the levels I wanted to play at. So it's like listen to what they're saying and, you know, just let them push you. Cause like there's been times where like when I was really young, like they were so much better than me. It's like not fun. Like playing wiffle ball or whatever, trying to tackle each other in football.
Just
like
beating you up in the backyard, right? Yeah.
But that stuff makes you better. And I mean, I think you're right on. Like the younger brother theory, it's 100% true.
It's cool though. How tight are you with them now? Like how much do you guys talk? Would you say you and your brothers?
Oh, we're super tight. Like if I need to throw or something, just call them up. And like I do it once or twice a week still. Yeah. Like we'll throw, or since Tyler was a catcher, he'll catch my bullpens. And he always I don't even need to text him.
I bet
he'll text me and say like, when are you throwing? I want to catch you. So it's great to have that, just like coming home and, you know, people are all over the place. Like your friends are at school or back here, wherever. But I'll text my brother and like be like, "Can you throw?" And he's like, "Yeah." You got a mask and a mitt? And I'm like, "Yep."
Let's go. You're like, yeah, I was catching some bullpens at 17. I still got my mask and
mitt
in the car.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's awesome. Talk about your mom, because I know, you know, Danny, like when you're at school sometimes and stuff is going good or bad, like your mom would reach out to him, "Hey, can you check in with Dylan?" Or vice versa. He'd check in with her, "Hey, how's Dylan doing?" Like how big of a role has your mom played in your life and where you're at now?
Yeah, I think she just shaped everything I am, like especially my work ethic, just because not even as a athlete, just as a person in general, like she works harder than anybody I know. So being able to see that day in and day out and like have somebody you see every day doing the right thing every single time, and like there's truly no days off. Like I was giving her a little crap for not wanting to go to work one day, and she's like, "I've been working," and I was like, "You work harder than anybody I know. Like it's not a shot at you. I was just making fun."
Yeah.
But
giving her what she gives you a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Because she's always like, "You sure you want to go to the gym? Like you're working out late." And I'm like it's just what you've showed me. Because she's somebody who will get up early and run every day. Like I couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. It's not for me.
You're moving the weight. You don't want to run as much. Yeah.
But just having that where it's like there's people out there and being able to see that every day, because it's a lot different seeing it, you know, and hearing about it.
Sure.
And just seeing that every day, like it's just made me who I am.
Sounds like iron sharpens iron in the Reid household. Like everyone's helping each other constantly, keeping each other going.
My brother loves saying that. Iron sharpens iron.
I love it too, man. It's everything. So is there one family member, not to pick because they're all very valuable, but is there one family member like you lean on when the days are tough? Like you're having that day where it's like, man, my velo was 86, 87 yesterday coming back, and now it's freaking 78, 82 all of a sudden. Like, do I even want to do this? Like, is there someone in the house you can talk to the most, you feel like?
It's really anybody, whoever's there.
Whoever's available.
Like, I mean, I talked to Justin the other day about that, and then at school a lot, it's my mom. Like, I'll call her, I'll call Tyler, my oldest brother. So it's really whoever answers first, because they're all there. Like, there's no better or worse. Like, they're all there equally, and basically they're there as much as I need them. So, that's also a huge benefit to have, just being able to call somebody at any time.
My grandpa always said family is the one thing you always have.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's one thing you can count on. And there's rifts in a family, there's fights, there's arguments, but it's kind of like that team thing we're talking earlier. Like, you need some of that struggle and that conflict to make you guys that much tighter. So what would your advice be to a kid? Because I know I was a kid like this, just being straight up. Like in high school, I didn't almost trust my parents at times, or I tried to sneak around them maybe, or, you know, didn't want to come to them if I had issues or problems because they might get mad at me. Like, what's your advice to a kid that's not using his resources around him, and how are you comfortable just opening up with your family? Like how important is that? You know, like what would you say to that kid?
Yeah, I mean, they just want the best for you. Like it's as simple as that. And sometimes you won't agree with what they're saying, or if they say like, don't do this, and you really want to do something, like you got to step back and really look at it. And you might not understand it for a couple of years. Like even now I'm starting to realize some things where it's like this is what was best for me, but at the time I really didn't want to do it. And just being able to trust that, because like they've been there before and they want to see you succeed. Like they truly want the best for you. So just being able to, you know, take criticism or take advice without taking it personal.
It's like good coaching, you know, like the best players want to be coached, and good coaching is not sugar-coated. It's going to be sometimes harsh and in your face, but it's what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. And the best coaches will say like, don't be mad if I'm yelling at you. Be mad if I stop talking to you. Because like you want them to be pushing you. You don't want them to stop caring. And the one way for them to stop caring is if you just give up. So just really just like push yourself, let other people push you, and then embrace it. Because like at some point, somebody will stop pushing you and you wish you had it. So like at school when I'm on the phone, like it's a lot harder for them to push me, but I still can kind of get it out of them and then lean on guys at school. Like it's just having people around you that want you to get better.
Super wise for your age. Great perspective there. Seriously, like very, very good perspective. That I think that little 2-minute window there is going to be a lot of nuggets for kids at home to watch that. Parents are going to rewind and say, all right, let's watch that again. Like, because that's so big, man, in everyone's journey. Great transition piece too into 643, our kind of final piece of this podcast. 3 seasons here, am I right? 3 seasons, 16 twice, although half of the second year at 16 with your birthday, you're kind of playing with Danny and with Coach McPhee on the Jags. Rest in peace, Coach Pat McPhee. Awesome dude, awesome. Skylar I grew up playing with, so love that family to death. See Skylar like a brother. I know they're a big part of your journey here. Talk about first, we'll go kind of backwards though. Let's go playing for Danny. It made me think of him immediately when you were talking about, when they stop. He says it all the time, when I stop talking to you, that's when you should be worried. And usually Danny's not the type to stop talking to anybody. Like no matter, even if it's that same guy telling him the same thing at the end of the season. I know you had a couple guys on your team that maybe didn't get it in that year, but shoot, either they got it when they left, or if not, he was coaching the what out of them until it ended. So talk about playing for DP, what he taught you maybe, and he's maybe not for everybody, but I think everybody can take something from Danny at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I remember most like the post-game speeches, and one thing that's funny is as soon as I started driving, my mom was like, all right, like you can drive yourself, because she'd be waiting like 45 minutes, an hour after every game, and he's just talking and talking. But everything he said, like, comes true. He's like your college coaches, like, look them in the eye when they're talking. Like, if you're looking down, like, they're going to see that and think you're not listening. Like, I know you're listening, but you need to show them that you're listening. Like, little things like that. It's not even about the game. Mm-hmm. Like, just in that post-game meeting.
Just life skills.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything, like, head on a swivel. He loves saying that. I still say that. Me and Carter Bart joke about it. But, it's true. And some of it's kind of, it's funny, like he repeats himself so much, but all of it's important. And you just got to think about it. Like I miss having those talks where it's like we just had a doubleheader or something and we're talking for an hour and a half, but like it's all worth it. Like,
now we're running on the track over here.
Yeah,
right?
We're running on the track, getting ready for Hoover. Like that's the grind though. That's the fun
That's
part.
what college is though too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of kids see it in high school and they're like, but if you're really with that, you probably don't want to play in college. Mm-hmm. Like how many things that summer ended up showing up in college at Brown, would you say?
Everything.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to do that stuff. Like it's hard, but at the same time, like you're doing it with your team, like it makes you closer and it makes you better. Mm-hmm. And just seeing guys struggling but pushing through, like it just makes you believe in them more too and trust them. So when you do need somebody to get a hit and run down or get a bunt down, like you can trust them and he trusts them. So like that's the biggest part.
What's the biggest takeaway from playing for DP then? Is there one thing? Head on a swivel?
Head on a swivel. I mean, just staying locked in, like being aware, probably just like never stop learning, just taking everything in, like be a sponge, just listen to everybody. You don't have to agree with everything somebody's saying, but just listen to it. Think about it, like why would they be saying this? Where have they been? Like do they want the best for me? And usually if it's yes, like they want the best for me, then probably implement it.
You can tell you played for them for 2 years and that you guys have stayed in touch with those answers. And that is true. Like talk to people at home, not to get too into it, but you guys talk a bunch, right? Like a couple times a year, would you say? I know freshman year, even things weren't going well at first. Like you guys were talking a little bit, right? Like talk about that. Yeah.
I probably talked to him on the phone a couple times a month.
Yeah.
Just like I'll text him and be like this is going really well. Like love to update you. Or I'll be like it's not going too well. I need to call you soon. And he'll call me whatever time of day. It doesn't matter. Like 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 2 a.m., whatever it is. Like I'm up late studying. Like I could call you right now and he'll just call me. And it's just like having that in my circle, being able to call somebody whenever. Because, I'm not going to call my mom at 2 a.m., but Danny will be open.
Like, and he's up eating cereal, answering texts, watching highlights on SportsCenter.
Yeah, he's like, sometimes, you'll call me, I'll be up, but I'm really busy, so I can't answer. Yeah. And it's like that's who I want to be talking to. Yeah. But he always knows what to say, and he's been through it with countless other people, like good or bad. He's like, just keep doing what you need to do, like stick to what you know has been working, and don't get too low on something, don't get too high on something, like just keep working at it and it'll work out.
And what would you say then to the freshmen? Because I feel like some of y'all's biggest talk were your freshman year, which ended up getting 40 innings, so it was great. But at first, like, you maybe almost didn't get that freshman year. Like, I know I was a guy that I didn't get to my full freshman year because the fall I was like, this is toast, I'm done. But I've heard him save, but just help so many guys get through the gunk and then lead to great careers. So, like, what is your message to a freshman who maybe feels like, oh, man, this is not what I thought it was going to be? Or, man, I thought I was going to play more and now I'm not, or the coaches are giving me mixed signals. Like, how does the freshman get through that first fall and that first year?
Yeah, I remember him always talking about, like, a lot of kids will call him their freshman fall and be like, I can't do this. And he's like, you have to stick it through the whole year because the fall and the spring are so different. Like, when the games start, it's just like summer ball again. Like, you're just having fun playing. And the fall, like, it's hard for a reason to make you better for the spring. But I say just, like, sticking it through, like, getting close with the guys and just don't stop working. Because, like, that's what it is. It's just work, and it's fun. And even if you aren't playing as much, like, the only way to start playing more is to get better, work more. Like, surround yourself with the guys that are starting.
Yeah.
And pick their brain, like, work with them, see what they do better than you. And, you know, stay close with the coach to ask him, like, what do I need to get better at? Like, what am I doing that you like? What do you not like? And, like, everybody has exit meetings, and the coaches are usually pretty spot on with, like this is what we saw this fall. This is what we think you could be very good at, but, like, we see you lacking in these areas. And it's just honest feedback, and you got to take it and not take it personal, because at the end of the day, they want what's best for you because you're playing for them. Like, you're there for a reason. So
That's awesome advice. Yeah, awesome advice. No, that's going to help guys get through it, because usually we have a bunch of stories. I know we have multiple guys that have been drafted to play pro baseball that were this close to quitting their freshman fall. And I remember even one of our first teams ever, Tucker Breen's older brother, Jared Breen. I know you played for Tucker, I believe, here, right? Yeah, he was one of our first guys to go MLB/MILB, and he was very close to not making through his freshman fall and ended up playing for 3 years, getting popped. And it's just so cool to hear stories like that. And you're another one of them that's like, all right, cool. Like, there's some adversity, some struggle, but shoot, man, you've been dealing with adversity your whole life, and it prepared you for that moment. Like, everything led up to that, and kudos to you for getting through it and still going right now, right? So let's talk about your first 2 years at 643, though, with Coach McPhee, right? So a lot of guys come in. We talk about this with Ryan Wynn recently, because he was a guy that wasn't always on the top team here. He was on the so-called third team for a couple of years before he was on the Cougars. You know, again, by definition, I think you guys were 16 Jags those first 2 years. Technically the third pickings for, you know, that age, but I think you guys might have even beaten the Tigers when y'all played them one of those years with Jamal's team, right? And I know a lot of your guys ended up playing college off that team. How did you not get caught up in the team name, and how did you embrace kind of the program and, you know, what you needed to keep developing?
Yeah, I mean, just coming in, like, you get on a team and you take it. Like, that, it's as simple as that. Because as soon as you get there, like, there's no team names. You're at practice all fall. Like,
everyone's practicing together, right?
Everyone's practicing together.
Yeah.
And, like, you're, like, watching it. You're like, we could beat these guys. Like, it's not, like, there's no difference. It's more of who can come together better as a team, because the talent's all the same. I mean, my I think it was 2020 summer, 16U. The first year I played with McPhee, like, it's Streeter and Weidman, like, guys on that team where it's like one kid just got drafted in the third round. The other kid's about to have the best season in school history, I think.
Oh.
So it's just like that type, like, you might see it at the time and think, like, you know, I'm not on the Cougars. I'm not playing with Danny.
The ego comes in a little bit as a 16-year-old, right? Yeah.
But you just gotta, like, you gotta be where your feet are and, you know, take advantage of who you're with. Because I had some of the best practices of my life with that team, like, just having fun. And that's the important part, like, having fun, having that chemistry, because that's what makes you good. And, like, our team was closer than ever by the end of the year. And I mean, we had the pandemic for a week or two or month or two in March and April, but, like, May, June hit and we were off and running because we had such a good fall. So it's like, just like with the snap of a finger, you're just there and enjoying it. Because, like, you'll have high school season usually, and then you get to 643 and, you know, end of May, and you start right away. And it's like, how close are the best teams? And you think about it, it's like, we have the best fall. You know, we go to Jupiter, we go to Fort Myers, and it's like, we're able to bond. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's not about talent. It's about, like, team
Family,
right?
Wins.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
DP harps on that a lot, you know. what can you do for the team? Like, it's not just yourself.
Did you still feel DP's love and impact when you were not on his team yet? Like when you guys were on McPhee's team, did you still feel, you know? Yeah.
And I mean, I could talk to him. I could call him, text him, whatever. Like, he's there. And he's always at the field. Like, you could be practicing. He's just there doing something. You don't know what he's doing, but he's there.
The helmet's lurking around, right? You're like, oh, there he is.
The helmet.
There he is. Talk about Coach Pat McPhee, man. You know, was there any big impact you got from him from those 2 years, or any lesson that's kind of stuck with you over the years from him and Skylar? I know the McPhee. I call them the McPhee brothers, but McPhee father-son duo that did a great job here coaching for about 5-6 years together.
Yeah, I mean, Coach McPhee, he just always believed in me, whether it's a hitter or a pitcher. And, you know, I played a second year at 16s because I really wanted to hit still. And I was like, I'm not ready to just be a pitcher. Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, he saw what I could do as a hitter, and he was like, I want you because, like, you could be our best hitter. And, I mean, sure enough, just working with him, like, taking a lesson here or there and practicing, hitting with him at practice. Like, you go to practice, what do you have, an hour and a half time slot? You can just hit as much as you want, as many rounds as you want. And he's like, get back in the cage, like work on this, like whatever it is, back elbow. And he just pushed me, and like he believed in me. And so, I mean, sometimes as a hitter, I knew like I wasn't quite at the level to play at college, but he was like if you want to, you could. And he just kind of showed me what I could do when sometimes I didn't think I could do it.
I always heard great motivator. Like, you know, being around him, someone just talking to all the guys that love playing for him, like great motivator, like kind of quiet to the outside looking in, but when you're in that group, like good energy, right?
Yeah.
Constantly firing guys up. I know Pat loved hitting, so yeah, I mean, I can think of sometimes you guys would be an hour and a half hitting the cages, then for your hour and a half field slot, y'all are even hitting on the field for like half of that time, right? So you got plenty of swings in there for sure. Okay, so closing out the 643 piece, is there one thing from 643 that is stuck in college, like that comes up a lot? Like forget Danny, forget like all of it together. Is there one thing of 643 that you think of that shows up where you're playing now?
It's just got to be the team thing. Like, it's all about the team, and that's one of the biggest things here is just the team component. Because a lot of programs out there are just like a group of players and not necessarily a team. And I feel like teams here stick together, get better, and it elevates you as a player. Because if you surround yourself with the people that wants what's best for you, they'll make you better. Whether you are better or not, it makes you play better, you're happier, you're having more fun. And just carrying that over, like enjoying the game, I think. Just, you know, because there's going to be a lot of bad days in college. Like, you're facing a lot better players every day, and you're competing for a spot that you once had and you started your whole life at. So it's just being a team player, like knowing when your name's called to be ready. And I think 643 prepared me for that.
No, that's really cool. Yeah. You feel like you're prepared with that. Yeah, whatever. Like you want to be a starter, but if you got to be a closer that day, or if they need you to go get a bat and hit that day, it sounds like, right? Like whatever it is, like you're ready to embrace that role. And obviously being injured, I'm sure you're still an energy guy and in that dugout staying locked in, you know, while you're out. So that makes sense. That makes sense, man. No, I love it. Tons of great answers. Would love to kind of wrap up here with a speed round. And then we'll go one closing message out to our fans. So speed round here. A lot of guys struggle with this. Even me, I tend to overtalk stuff. Don't think about it. Whatever I throw at you, just first thing that comes to mind. All right, you got to go. Best recovery drill.
Got to go with bands.
Bands. Class you didn't expect to like, but do.
There's a business class. It's like a secret class. It's in the engineering department. But Professor Hazeltine, I think he's 93.
Oh.
Best professor at Brown.
Savage.
Greatest class. There were like 2 parts, so I took both of them. Best classes I took.
That guy sounds like a G, dude.
Yeah.
We might need to pull a picture of that guy and put it on for whatever you say it. 93, that's a crazy good shout out. Favorite cue in a bullpen?
Griffin and Riff It.
Griffin and Riff It. Yeah, I've used that a couple times. Ballpark on your bucket list to pitch at? Could be a D1 school, could be MLB, you know.
Brave Stadium.
Yeah,
Truist
true.
Park.
That's
gotta
pretty
be
nice, right? Okay. One tool for confidence every day.
Visualization. Just seeing it before it happens and then doing it.
3-2 count, 2 out, spaces loaded. What are you throwing?
Curveball.
Yeah, this guy likes to spin it. This guy definitely likes to spin it. All right, that was one of our best speed rounds. You made that look very easy. Classic Ivy League, on his toes. On his toes. All right, so let's close it out. You know, we originally were going to talk about kind of your message to the freshmen. You already did a great job of talking about that. I want you to look into the camera. This is giving me a little nostalgia or throwback almost to our first episode of Maceo White, recent commit to Vanderbilt. Had a couple years of really tough injuries where he wasn't playing. he's trusted God, trusted the path, and trusted his process back. And now he's, committed to Vanderbilt, one of the top schools in the country. Talk about, the kid out there. Maybe they're a college kid your age. Maybe it's a 9 or 10-year-old. Maybe it's a high school kid that's, maybe keeps getting hurt, hasn't been able to play, but they just keep training. They keep doing lessons. They keep working out. Like, what is your message to that kid if they're thinking about quitting and stopping, and how do they keep going?
Yeah, I mean, injuries are part of the game, and the only way to guarantee you don't get better, don't come back, is to not work. So I think just that aspect of never quitting and always striving for more and believing in yourself, surrounding yourself with the best people you can have, whether it's trainers or players or family or friends, and just keep working, whether it's training room, strength room, on the field. Like, there's always something for you to do, and you can never sell yourself short. Like, if you have a lower body injury, you can still throw. You could sit down and throw. Like, whatever it is, you can find a way. And if you surround yourself with the people that you need, they'll help you find a way and keep you motivated and push you on those days where it's like nothing's lining up, like something else is hurting today. They're like just keep working. Like, you will get through it. And not to say it's going to be smooth from there on out, but like, the only way to move forward is to keep working.
Heat. Gold. From an Ivy League brain, this guy's brain is worth a lot more than this whole place probably put together. He's humble. Dylan Reid, thank you so much for coming on. My biggest takeaways, man, is just you're on the path right now. You're really slowing down life. As you say, some guys get sped up when trouble hits. I feel like you're slowing down life, but a lot of that is you're using your resources, right? You're huge with your family, your mom, your brothers, talking to Danny a bunch, keeping up with teammates at school. So just a great inspiration, I think, for all our guys watching on how to go about it and how to respond when life throws you a couple curveballs, as you like to throw those hitters. But, man, cannot thank you enough for coming on. Did it go by fast?
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, you killed it, dude. That was one of our best, I'd say, for sure. Where can everyone at home find you on Instagram? Do you have somewhere they can follow you, Instagram or Twitter?
I think my Instagram is DylanReid17. Might have to double check that.
Yeah. Hey, the guy's locked into real life. It's not about social media. Guys, please follow us. Embrace the Journey 643 on Instagram. Official ETJ Pod 643 on YouTube. 2022 alumni, Dylan Reid. A couple years left in college, so can't wait to watch him grip it and rip it this year and then see what happens after that. Dylan, thanks a bunch for coming on. Guys at home watching, we will see you again soon. I'm Jake Pralgo. This is Embrace the Journey. Let's freaking go. Great job, dude.